Infor Track absence codes. Scheduled but unclocked time may be accounted for with absence hours. The absence code form allows us to specify whether these hours are to be paid or unpaid, count towards overtime thresholds or not, post to the ERP system or not, paid a premium code or not, and whether or not their usage is tracked. To create an absence code, we select the absences icon on the administrator homepage to open the form. The absence code is used by TimeTrack to identify the reasons for absence hours. Description is how the absence code will be referred to in TimeTrack displays. We then specify whether it is active or not. When active is set to no, users will not be allowed to enter absence hours against this code. Absence hours may be paid or unpaid. Absence counts that have paid absence set to yes will classify as paid in payroll calculations. Otherwise, they will be unpaid in the payroll calculations. Absence type selection is used to define the type of report dates the absence code may be used for and to signal usage characteristics to the application. There are 6 types of absence types. These are generic, sick, vacation, holiday, incident, and NCNS, standing for no call, no show. Considering each of these individually. Generic. This absence type has no special characteristics. Absence code using this absence type may only be entered for non-holiday report dates. Sick. This absence type is basically a generic absence type. Special characteristics for this absence type will be developed in future versions. Absence codes using this absence type may only be entered for non-holiday report dates. Sick and generic absence hours roll up together as other absence hours in summary forms and activity reports. Vacation. Vacation absence types are primarily used on non-holiday working days, but if a holiday report date is configured to allow substitutions, the vacation absence type may be used on holiday report dates as well. Vacation absence hours roll up under their own heading, vacation hours, in the summary forms and activity reports. Holiday. Holiday absence types may only be used on holiday report dates. Holiday absence hours roll up under its own heading, holiday hours, in the summary forms and activity reports. Instant and NCNS absence types are absence codes used by the attendance point system. They follow the same usage rules as generic absence types. Absence codes with these absence types activate additional configuration fields used by the attendance point system. Paid absence hours always categorized as regular hours. Overtime eligible designates whether or not the absence hours will count towards the overtime threshold. OT is a TimeTrack term used to abbreviate overtime eligible. OT hours and non-OT hours are separated and listed under their own headings on summary forms and activity reports. We set overtime eligible to yes in order for absence hours to count towards overtime thresholds. As an example, a shift using a 40-hour weekly overtime threshold that is 40 clocked hours and 8 hours of overtime eligible absence will categorize as 8 regular overtime eligible absence hours, 32 regular clocked hours, and 8 overtime clocked hours. If the same absence code had overtime eligible set to no, the same scenario would result in 40 regular clocked hours, 8 regular non-overtime eligible absence hours, and no overtime hours. Approval required is a parameter that predates the absence request system and the user experience of the modern versions of TimeTrack. As a result, it has very limited use in the modern versions of TimeTrack. This parameter is only applicable for clocked employees that have an employee user profile, i.e. a named user. These employees can use the planned absences form to enter an absence record. If approval required is set to yes, when the employee creates the absence record, it will appear in the hours summary with an exception until a supervisor authorizes the record. If the parameter is set to no, then the absence record will be created in the ready status. Absence hours may be configured to use a premium method. The default setting is no premium, in which case the hours will not garner a premium regardless of the shift they are used in. To make the absence hours eligible for premiums configured in the employee's shift, set the premium method to shift. With this setting, any absence hours that occur during a premium eligible span will have the premium applied during premium calculation in the payroll process. To make the absence hours always eligible regardless of shift configuration, select premium code. The premium code field will then activate. we select any of the defined premium codes from the premium code table. With this setting, the absence hours will have the specified premium applied during premium calculation in the payroll process. Set post to ERP to yes to post the absence hours to the ERP system. Enter a valid ERP indirect code or general task code. TimeTrack will then post TimeTrack absence hours to the specified ERP task. To associate absence hours with an absence code in payroll, enter the desired absence code in the payroll code field. This field will default to the TimeTrack absence code during record creation, but may change to an alternate value if necessary. The absence code may be configured for usage tracking by setting the track field to yes. Doing so allows the code to be defined in time-off groups with annual allowed balances. Set carry forward to allow unused available hours to be carried forward into the next tracking year. If carry forward is allowed, you may specify whether to carry hours forward to the same absence code or to an alternate absence code. The TimeTrack absence code will default into the carry forward absence code but may be changed. Set the color scheme. The code will display in absence calendars by selecting the Select Color button. If the absence code is of type Instant or NCNS, the attendance point system configuration fields display. The instant absence type allows definitions of a full and partial instant. Define the full instant value in the instant value field. Any absence duration greater than the partial instant duration will count as the instant value in the attendance point system. Define the partial instant value in the partial instant value field. Absences with durations less than or equal to the partial instant duration will count as the partial instant value in the attendance point system. Partial instant duration defines the duration in which a partial instant is incurred versus a full instant. Unit of measure is hours and minutes. A partial instant duration of 1.5 hours would be stated as 0130 in this field. Partial instants are not used with the NCNS absence type. When the absence type is NCS, the partial instant value and duration fields will not display. The continuous request checkbox defines how many multiple day instant and NCNS absences will be treated. When the field is set to no, each report date of a multiple day absence will be counted as a separate instant. So a 3-day absence with an instant value of 1 will add 3 points to the attendance point system. When this field is set to yes, the entire absence is counted as 1 instant, regardless of the number of days. So a 3-day absence with an instant value of 1 will only add 1 point to the attendance point system.